Hello, everyone. Welcome into a very special edition of Xfinity Monday Live on a Tuesday, Rocky Mountain Showdown edition. And boy, oh boy, we have got some great guests in the house representing your Colorado State Rams. We have got Kevin McDougal, and representing your Colorado Buffaloes, skiing and football, I should say. We've got Jeremy Bloom. Both of these gentlemen have had amazing Rocky Mountain Showdown moments, which we will get to later in the show. That's part of the reason we wanted the two of you. But I got to start with first game in Fort Collins since 1996. There was that long gap where there's playing at Mile High. So what's better, on campus or at Mile High?
I mean, I don't know about Jeremy, but I think on campus is always better. I mean, I was fortunate enough to play at Hughes, at Folsom, and at Mile High. Mm-hmm. The college atmosphere is always going to be unbelievable, especially bring it back on campus. Both stadiums now are both on campus. So bringing it back to the schools is, I think, way better.
I think the bigger the stage, the bigger the moment.
Okay.
So, I mean, I love Invesco Field at Mile High and having my first game in my college career. We played at Denver Broncos Stadium. I grew up watching John Elway, dreaming about playing for not only the Buffs but the Broncos. I mean, that was pretty special. And, you know, back in those days when we were playing, it was sellouts.
Yeah.
73,000 people, national television. So, you know, I thought that was pretty special.
Oh, my gosh. You know what I like about this? We're not agreeing, and this is how it's hopefully going to go the whole show. Kevin, you lived in Fort Collins for a really long time. Mm-hmm. I feel like the Rams have had this one circled on the calendar. What do you think the environment's going to be like on Saturday?
I think it's going to be rowdy. I think it's going to be crazy. I think they're going to they're going to show well. I mean, obviously, in our house, we better be loud. So I think it's going to be ruckus, and I think we're going to have fun.
All right, I want to kind of break down the Buffs and the Rams right now. Jeremy, I want to start with you. Coming off a disappointing outing in Nebraska, Coach Prime was not happy. He said how his team handled the pressure and the moment. What do you expect from them, and how do they avoid another disappointment 2 weeks in a row? You
know, this is a very talented team. Yeah. On paper, it's the most talented CU football team they've ever had. More 5 stars, more 4 stars than in the history of his program. But what I saw in Lincoln was a bunch of really good players that haven't played a lot together. And it turns out chemistry is really important in football. It's not just about getting the 4 stars and the 5 stars. It's the shared experiences together. And yes, you build chemistry a little bit at practice, but you really build it on game day in and day out, where the guy next to you does his job or saves you, or, you know, and you work on that. And, you know, the thing that CSU has, they have a bunch of players who've played together for a while. This is a program that develops talent. They don't have 100 transfers over the past 2 years. So I think one of the challenges that the Buffs is having right now, yes, they have talent on the field, but how can they play with that chemistry, that one heartbeat? And I think you saw that sort of, you know, fall on its face a bit against Nebraska, who's also another program that has really developed talent and have played together for a long time.
Well, that begs the question, is there any way to microwave something that needs to be slow cooked?
Yeah, there's no way to manufacture chemistry, unfortunately. And it doesn't come from a playbook. It doesn't come from a coach. Again, a little bit of it comes from practice, but most of it comes from game experience, of trusting that person next to you, of trusting the game plan. Of course, there's things that, you know, coaches can do. You can get a team in rhythm. I think we would all agree against Nebraska, I don't think there was a moment where that team felt like in rhythm, literally from the first kick to the end of the game. And so there are things that coaches can do to get these teams in rhythm, get confidence back. It's easier to build chemistry when you're winning, of course. A lot harder to build chemistry when you're losing, especially losing to the degree that they did against Nebraska. But they just need more game reps, and they need to find their rhythm quickly.
Going to be very interesting, and you mentioned that CSU has a lot more of that continuity. Interesting start to the season, though. You get blown out by Texas, then you beat UNC, but Jay Norvell wasn't totally thrilled with that second win. He felt like there was a lot they needed to kind of clean up. When you look at this team where they are 2 weeks in now, what do you like? What concerns you, Kevin?
I think they're doing a great job with establishing the run. I think that's something that they're going to have to and keep developing that the rest of the year. I think Nicolosi starting to settle in a little bit. I think that first game, maybe some opening jitters playing in Texas Stadium is just a monster. Yeah. I mean, that is a hard atmosphere.
Texas is legit.
I mean, they're number 3, and they're a potential national championship, and they're right there knocking on the door.
Yeah.
So I think settling them down, getting the defense to play together, I think getting your receivers, we've had some injuries here and there. I think getting, you know, a couple of the tight ends going too. But again, I think the chemistry is there. It's just kind of getting everything to click at the right time.
When we talk about a rivalry specifically, what has this game traditionally meant to CSU?
It's their Super Bowl. That's just what it is. They don't want to say that, but it's their Super Bowl, period.
Well, I wouldn't say so much.
Of course you wouldn't, because you're a Ram. But it is your Super Bowl.
You also got to remember, we've also played in some big games, and we've also had some really good teams as well. Yes, is this one that we circle? Of course, because it's that attitude right there. We're not looked at to see that we're supposed to win this game. CU's supposed to come in. They're supposed to walk all over us every single year, and everybody talks about CU. I mean, nobody's in the media in Colorado is talking about CSU. Nobody. You turn on the sports stations, you turn all that, it's all CU, 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 CU. So, yeah, do we have a chip on our shoulder? Is this one circled every year? You dang right it's circled every year. Because we want we want our fans to be proud of us. We want to be able to go out, show the state that we can play as well. And honestly, we want to kick the butts of CU, to be honest with you. I almost said something else there, but the rivalry gets it out of you.
I love it. That's why we love a good rivalry game. Yeah. We got so much more coming up here. Welcome back into Xfinity Monday Live, special edition here, a Rocky Mountain Showdown edition. And you can see we got the cheerleaders, we got the mascots, and we have got two all-time Rocky Mountain Showdown players here in the house. Such a thrill tonight. We've got Jeremy Bloom and Kevin McDougal here, and both of you have some incredible moments from the showdowns. Jeremy, I'm going to start with you. First time you ever touch a ball in college, you take it 75 yards to the house at Mile High in the showdown. What do you remember from that?
What I remember is coming into the game, I'm third string punt returner, which basically means you're not playing. And I had good seats on the bench, and I was pretty stoked about that. But the end of the third quarter happened, and Coach Barnett starts yelling my name. I go up to Coach and said, well, what's up, Coach? He said, I want you to go return this punt. And I said, yeah, no problem. And I run back and get my helmet, and then the moment sort of hit me, running onto Invesco Field, 80,000 people. I'm like, holy you know what? Like, I got to go return this punt. I didn't even return punts in high school.
Really?
Yeah, and so, I just remember thinking, just catch the ball, and those guys gave me a great lane. It was sideline return right, made a couple guys miss, took it 75 yards to a touchdown the first time I touched the ball. And I remember crossing the line, thinking of a lot of things, including the fact that CSU never offered me a scholarship. They said I was not good enough to play. And by the way, I'm a native. I was raised 1 mile from where we are today on Boyd Lake in Loveland, Colorado. My dad was a professor at CSU for over 30 years, and they didn't give me an opportunity to play there. They didn't offer me a scholarship. So I wanted to rub that in their face.
So that had to feel pretty good.
That felt really good.
Yeah. Who's missing out now?
Yeah.
Hey, I feel the exact same way because I feel the exact same way with CU. CU did not recruit me at all. I think they recruited me for about 2 minutes. And I think the only reason why they did was because Dave Logan was my coach. I think it was a basic favor for Dave to kind of show some interest in me. Very same thing. Once the kind of everything came down the line, crickets. So I feel exactly the same way Jeremy did. When we stepped on the field with CU, I wanted to make them pay.
Well, it's more common for CSU guys not to get recruited by CU.
Because the Super Bowl thing, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's just a little brother school, so it's just a little different.
Well, I guess we can say
we'll find out. We'll see.
You did make them pay, right?
Yes.
Back in 1999, CSU had lost 8 straight to CU. You put up a $190, I believe.
96, yeah.
$196, excuse me, and 2 touchdowns.
Come on, don't short him on the 6 yards.
I know, I apologize. What do you remember? I mean, how motivated must you have been at that moment to pull that out?
It was huge motivation. I mean, coming off of the year before, we were actually favored the year before and got stomped. I mean, it was literally a reverse of the game. I think CU beat us like 41-14, and we ended up beating them 41-14. So there was a ton of motivation going into that game. I mean, I think it was one of those deals where, okay, you know what? We were actually favored once in the last 7 years, and we kind of, didn't do what we were supposed to do. So the seniors on that 99 team basically were saying, all right, it's enough talk. These guys have had their way with us for long enough. It's time to show them what we're made of, and we did.
I'm just thinking this is crazy because you grew up closer to Boulder.
I did.
And you grew up closer to Fort Collins.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit. Did you play in? No, you didn't play in Fort Collins then, obviously.
I played in Loveland High School.
Right, but you didn't play because the Rocky Mountain Showdown hasn't been at. Would have you liked to have played the Rocky Mountain Showdown in Fort Collins?
I would have liked to play in a parking lot. It didn't matter. I mean, being a native, we understand what the rivalry is all about. Yeah. We really do. And, if you look at the Colorado roster, it's a bunch of guys from out of state, and it's a bunch of transfers. And the thing I worry about with this team is they don't understand the history of this rivalry. And you got to understand the history because this is a big game. People in the state of Colorado really care about this game, and it's bragging rights for 12 months, and it's a big deal. And And, you know, I know, you know, Coach Prime and the coaching staff, they're bringing in former players, those types of things, talk about this. But I really hope that the CU players really embrace this as a big rivalry game and as an opportunity to prove that they're a better team than what they put on the field at Lincoln.
Well, this is bragging rights for what, the next maybe 6-10 years?
That's true, yeah. They're not, when is the next time they're going to play this game?
I don't know. I got to look that up. We will look that up.
It could be a while, so this could last for a long time.
I love it. I'm getting so pumped up right now with these two incredible Buffs and Rams that we have got here. Jeremy Bloom, Kevin McDougal, so kind to join us tonight as we are previewing what's going to be an epic Rocky Mountain Showdown, and that'll teach you the meaning of the rivalry. We're just going to play this, Jeremy. I'm going to send this to CU, make sure they play that. Coming up, we're going to take a break, but on the other side, we got the people want to know. We got questions from the crowd. They got some questions for you guys. They're just some good ones. We'll do that when we come back.
Cool.
Welcome back into Xfinity Monday Live on a Tuesday here at the Shields in Johnstown. We got a Rocky Mountain Showdown edition. Look at the cheerleaders braving the Ferris wheel here. There's so much to do here. It's like an adult Disneyland. And it is time now for the People Want to Know with Jeremy Bloom and Kevin McDougal, kind enough to join us. The People Want to Know, brought to you by Common Spirit, official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos and champions for the communities we serve. Well, I guess since we got the cheerleaders on the ride, I got to know, what's your favorite amusement park ride?
Oh, geez.
I know your daughter doesn't like Ferris wheels.
No,
I learned
she
that
does
earlier.
not. I would probably say like the log ride.
Okay.
Yeah, because she actually will
log
go.
ride?
The log ride. I'm going the totally opposite. The Tower of Terror, baby.
Yes.
On the elevator that just drops.
It's because she'll actually go on that ride.
What is the log ride?
Basically, you just a log and it goes down a really steep hill and it splashes you.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
It's sort of like the lazy river.
Okay.
You would like that.
This feels like the sentiment of the rivalry. We've got two different sentiments
here. Lazy River is not no joke anymore, man. I'm old.
All right. Sarah wants to know, rush in the field. Fans, you like it, you don't like it?
I like it. I think there's a time and place for it. I mean, I think after every single game, no. But a huge rivalry game or a huge win, yeah, it's part of football. It's part of college. As long as it's not crazy and they're tearing down the goalposts and stuff and causing damage, yeah, I think it's great.
Yeah.
No, not in this game. CU is supposed to win these games.
Okay.
You know, it's the little brother up north, and you don't storm the field when you beat up on your little brother.
Right. So they did last year. Do you?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, look, CU over the past decade has been sort of the seller of major FBS football. So, look, I mean, you got to get a program back to relevancy, and certainly Coach Prime did that. And so you have a fan base that spent a lot of those.
But
those
they haven't
kids.
transitioned in wins though either. I mean, you can say the program's back, but they still haven't won any games. That mean anything? So, I mean, 4 wins is still only 4 wins.
No, it's fair criticism, but the fact that College Game Day was there and Big Noon College, Fox Kickoff was there. Yeah, you can understand. Like if you're a senior last year, you spent 3 years of your college career losing every game, and then you win like a close rivalry game. You can see why it does it. But no, I think CU's supposed to beat CSU.
Yeah. I like it. There you have it. 2 different takes. Again, that's why we're having so much fun today. That was the People Want to Know, brought to you by Common Spirit. We got to take a break. But up next, I'm going to ask you guys a question about the other school. I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay.
Okay, we'll come back. We'll be back. We got some special guests for this final segment of the show. We have got the lovely, talented, beautiful women who grace the sidelines in Colorado and Colorado State. Will you guys be in Fort Collins?
Yes.
Okay.
Will be in Fort Collins.
So we're going to have both of them on the sidelines, which is going to be fabulous for what is going to be an epic Rocky Mountain Showdown. And I'm going to put you guys on the spot here. What bothers you most about the other school?
Go for it, Kevin. Yours is easy.
What bothers me about pretty much everything.
Okay.
I mean, there's not a whole lot that doesn't bug me about it. I mean, the arrogance. I mean, the entitledness. I mean, I can go on and go on and go on, but we don't have enough time for that. So I'll throw it back to Jeremy.
Okay.
I mean, the uniforms are just terrible.
Oh my God.
That bothers me the most.
Okay.
It's just not. It's just ugly. I don't know what to tell you. But the truth is, I think the state of Colorado is better when both teams are good. Mm-hmm. And so outside of this Saturday, I actually cheer for CSU. Yeah. And I want CSU to be a great program because it elevates the whole state of Colorado. Yeah. And my dad was a professor there for 30-plus years. My sister went to school there. My brother went to school there. So, outside of this one day that I hate, the Aggies,
yes,
I root for them.
Okay, you know, I'm totally with you. And the game is better when both teams are good, and there's there's a lot on the line. Quickly, let me get your final game predictions. Score predictions.
I'm going 28-24 CSU.
Okay, a close one. I like it.
I think this game's always close. Like I said, CSU, this is their Super Bowl, whether they want to admit it or not, and I get it. And I just hope that CU thinks of this as their Super Bowl as well, or understands like the magnitude of it. So I think it's going to be a shootout. I'm going 42-40.
Okay,
Wow.
I like it. Any overtimes this year?
I don't see overtime.
I don't see it either, but that would be great. 2 years in a row, that'd be awesome.
I don't know if I'm interested in the double overtime that ends at 2 a.m.
I couldn't really go with an overtime with a 42-40 prediction unless it ended on a safety.
Yeah,
that's
that's
true.
fair.
That's true.
That's fair. It's happened before. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us. This has been such a treat and really got us ready to go for the Rocky Mountain
Sorry, you got to wear
Showdown.
that green shirt.
Oh, man. Hey, I'm proud to wear the green.
Black and
I am
gold,
proud,
baby.
Let's
Black
go,
and
Rambies.
gold. Let's go.